frame of my mind. Oh, a solo exhibition in Lagos to what time, a time zone, scrubber of iOS that is designed and shipped to the App Store. His project reflects a simple belief. Personal projects are one of the best ways to learn, grow, and open new doors. With this, I would like to welcome our speaker for today. Um, please let's react with a lot of emojis to have him come on board. Thank you very much.
Hi, Toby. Hello, everyone.
Right.
This your
Please,
intro is really long. Oh.
apologies for that. But I need to give details on who our speaker is. But please, help me with your name, please.
Hi everyone. My name is Runo. My name is
Oh,
Runor Jiroma. It's an Yoruba name, so I don't expect you to pronounce it properly, but it's all right. My name is Runor Jiroma. I'm a designer, visual artist, and I would call myself a doer. I believe that you either like try or you do. Like there's really no in between. Um, I have experience working in, like I said, anything design from editorial to graphic, to print to web product. Oh yeah, I'm going to share my screen. When I start presenting, I'm not presenting yet. I don't know who that is, but somebody's asking if I was going to share my screen. Um, yeah, I'm a designer. I've been around design for like I think give or take 8 years. From print to graphic to editorial and now product. Um, on the side, I work as a visual artist. I had my first solo exhibition in 2020. Oyibo Juju and the Friends of My Mind. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know why Toby was going on around. He does plenty things. Right now, I run my own design studio, alltherunors. We basically do anything from graphics for TV to branding to interactions for products and what have you. Basically whatever we can, whatever, as long as design is involved, we can solve the problem. So yeah, that's pretty much it. um Toby, can you guys hear me?
yes, yes, I'm with you. Yeah, you can proceed. Please proceed.
Okay.
All
So
right,
I'm
thank you.
just going to, is everybody clear? Can anybody hear me, just to be sure? Yeah. Okay, all right. So I'll just go ahead and share my screen so we can get into um the juice for today. Just hold on, just give me a moment. Um, uh, can everyone see my screen? I'm going to need you
Yes,
guys to
we can.
talk. Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
we
going to
can.
need you guys to talk because I won't be able to like see all the reactions from here.
Yes, we can.
All right. So yeah, basically we're going to talk about why I think my entire talk today is going to be why I think PMs should do personal projects. And then also obviously since it's your AI week, we'll talk about using AI as a learning partner. I would also show you how I've used AI to learn like new technologies and whatnot, and then build like a product, right? So it's not like I'm telling you that, oh, come and do this, and then I've not done it myself, right? Like I said, my name is Runor Jiroma. I am the designer and founder of All the Runors. It's an independent design studio working across brand, product, and interaction. Um, a lot of people really do not have time for personal projects, which is a lie, but that's what they tell themselves. They feel like because if you just show up at work and do the work that you need to do, any learnings that you get from there is enough. But I feel like personal projects give you sort of like this permission to experiment. So you can experiment, you can fail, you can test out an idea that maybe your day job will not afford you because everything on your day job is measured, right? So there's a structure that you have to follow, there are processes that you have to follow. But with personal projects, there's a lot more leeway, right? So you can take ideas further, you can extend processes further, you can play around. Like a personal project should be like a perfect playground for you. So yeah, like I said, personal projects give you permission to sort of like experiment, fail, follow an idea, and learn new things away from your day job. That's very important. Like you have to get to the point where you are not just banking on the things that you do on your day to day in your day job, but like also like extending your knowledge and following your curiosity by making personal projects. So yeah, personal projects are also very, very demanding, right? Because like I said, your day-to-day job is already demanding enough. And a lot of people are like, okay, that's already too much work. I don't think I want to add a personal project on top of all of that, especially for PMs, because there's already so much processes and structures that you guys follow in your day-to-day, right? So why would you want to add the personal project to it? But yeah, I'm sure like a lot of you have ideas around like certain things that you want to play around or you want to build, right? And yet they're just hanging around. And I think one of the biggest problems that a lot of people need to overcome is the permission problem. Um, for your work, like you get delegated tasks. So, okay, you need to do this as PM, you need to do that. But for a personal project, you don't need permission. Like you don't need any permission. You just need to have that curiosity. Let your curiosity lead you. Like, okay, I have this idea that I've been thinking about. What can I do? Can I try this? Can I try that? So the first problem that a personal project will demand from you to solve is the permission problem. You don't need permission to start a personal project, right? You can just decide to do something and then let your curiosity lead you. And then personal projects also need you to write your own brief, right? At a job, there's probably already like a brief for you to follow as the PM. There's already like what the product should do, all of that. You get to do that on your day job, right? But with a personal project, you write your own brief, so you're in charge, right? You get to write your own brief, decide for yourself what exactly should the project do, right? Then another thing that a personal project will demand from you is scoping, right? Which is something you already do in your day-to-day job. You have to decide, oh, this is the scope. This is what exactly this project or this product should do. And then you have no one to defer to. So it's just you. So like you're in charge, like I said, it's just you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you
Hello?
can. Yes, you can.
Yes, yes, we can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to be sure. So you have no one to defer to. So you're in charge, you're in control, right, of the scope of writing your own brief and then obviously overcoming that permission problem. Whatever it is that you're waiting for, somebody to tell you to do that, somebody to tell you to do this. For a personal project, you don't need all of that. You just need to overcome. You have to realize that it is up to you, right? And then finally, one of the things that a personal project will demand from you is actually finishing it and getting it out, right? I think this is the problem where a lot of people drop off, right? So maybe you have this really nice idea that you've thought about, right? You've written your brief, you've gone through like scoping it, so you know exactly what you wanted to do, but along the way you just start and then you don't just finish, right? I'm sure like there are a lot of you now that have ideas in your head that you probably started maybe last month, maybe last year, and you just couldn't get it out, right? Um, so those are the things that a personal project will demand from you. So now why should you as a PM, why should you do personal projects? I believe that one of the major reasons why I think PMs should do personal project is you get to experiment outside of your day job, right? So there's a structure in your day job, there's a structure, there are processes that you follow. Most of the decisions that you make will not just be yours alone, right? You can make a decision and then still get buying from stakeholders, buying from your CTO. So there's a lot more structure around your day-to-day job, right? But for a personal project, every decision is yours, right? Every decision is yours. And then in your day job, you don't get as much leeway to practice like problem definition, scoping, you don't get as much leeway to practice because everything is on the line. Like everything has to follow a process, everything has to follow a structure, everything has to follow a set of designed defined rules. But with personal project, you can practice, you can fail, you can experiment, right? So like it's perfect. Like it's a perfect playground for PMs, really. Um, and then another thing is like the feedback loop is faster, right? In your day job, I'm sure when you make a decision, it goes through a series of like people, right? Maybe before it even get to like stakeholders, it goes through different different people who are in the feedback loop. So it takes a while for like things to even get done. But with a personal project, that feedback loop is faster, right? So you can, like I said, you're in charge. Every decision is yours to make. So there's a lot more control with what you can do and what you cannot. So that feedback loop is faster. And then obviously with the advent of AI now, AI has sort of like removed certain barriers, right? That anybody can literally wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, I want to build this," and then figure it out, right? Ideally, when you would want to build a project before, you have to get like a developer, get a designer, you act as project manager. It's like you act as project manager, product manager. So everything has to like you have to have all the pieces in the board first before you decide to even build. Even if you just want to play, you want to play around an idea, right? But with AI now, most of that barrier, I mean, it's not like it has eliminated the need for a CTO or a designer. It's now more it's easier now. There's a lot more leeway, right? Certain barriers have been broken down in a way that you can just quickly move fast, which is the whole essence of this talk. And this is what I'm going to show you as we progress. And then another thing why you should do personal project is because everything that you learn, right? Everything that you learn compounds, right? I'm sure a lot of you now are probably done with uni. Some of you are working full time. Some of you are interning. Whatever it is, whatever learning that you acquire from school to your internship to your full-time 9 to 5 job, every learning that you acquire compounds. So imagine if you have 5 personal projects that probably stressed you so much, right? All of that learnings, all of that, it all compounds. So you'll be better off than somebody who is just focused on their day job and just clocking in and clocking out. Because you get to experiment, you get to fail, you get to pick up learnings, you get to pick up um new structures, new what's it called? New defined set of rules to make things faster. So every learning compounds. Now I know a lot of you are not designers, right? So I'm not going to bore you with a case study about how I design this, how I design that. I'm just going to run you through how I built an app in SwiftUI without any prior knowledge of SwiftUI using AI as a learning partner, right? So I'm going to run you through the Figma file, what's in there, and just talk you through it, not necessarily dive into design so we don't have problems. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Hello? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay. I'm just going to run you through the Figma file and then highlight certain things that you're already familiar with, right? I'm not going to bore you with design, but there's a context I want to establish here. Before now, before this, before building this app, I had no prior experience with SwiftUI. So I learned SwiftUI using AI as a learning partner and a YouTube course, right? So this is the whole essence of this talk, is just to show you how you too can apply with all the learnings and whatever principles I shared today, you can apply that into your own personal project and see how far you can go with it. So I'll be talking about time. It's a time zoom scrubber. It's live now on iOS App Store. So it lets you like visualize time across cities with an interactive dial, right? It was designed in Figma and built in SwiftUI. I'm going to show you how I used AI to build this, and then would take things from there. But before then, I just want to play like a demo of what the app does. Can anybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So see, as you move the dial, every city that you have added in your city row gets updated, right? So it's just an interactive way to like visualize time. So that's what the app does. It's a time zone scrubber that lets you visualize time across different cities using a dial, right? So I'm now going to walk you through like the Figma file, and then from there I will show you how I used AI to build this. Just hold on. I hope I still have everybody here. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can. Yes,
Yeah, we're on Figma now, right?
yes. We can see the screens.
Okay. Come let me zoom in for a bit. All right. I think this is fine. So like I said, what time is the time to scrub application that lets you visualize time across cities with an interactive dial, right? So why another time zone app? There are a lot of time zone apps on the App Store, on Google Play Store. There are a bunch of options really. So why did I even bother? Right. I would say two things. I was curious, one, as to how I could marry Apple's word clock with timezone.digital. Timezone.digital it's a also like a time zone app, but like it uses like a slider, right? If you see this image here, it uses like a slider to visualize time across different cities, right? Whereas Apple's word clock is more static, right? So you see, oh, you just if you type in a city, you just see the time there. If you type in Cape Town, you see the time there. Toronto, there's no interactivity. There's no way to compare times. Okay, what time would it be if it's 9 o'clock in Houston, right? But time zone that has that gives you that leeway, but it uses like a slider, right? So I was curious. I'm like, okay, you know what? If this uses the slider, if I combine these two things, these two ideas, and use a dial that's already familiar to us, like time being circular in a way, right? How would that look? So I sort of went with, okay, let me even see what other time zone apps are doing. And then, yeah, it's mostly just static time. Like you see this now, New York, London, it's just static. It just tells you the time. It doesn't tell you, oh, what is 5 p.m. in Houston going to be in Cape Town, right? So it just tells you the time for that particular time, right? You can't go forward, you can't go backward. There's no interactivity. So that's like the basis for my own idea, right? I was curious how that would look. Um, so yeah, like I said, I'm not going to bore you with my design decisions or how I designed it particularly. I'm just going to run through them, right? Because so we don't waste too much of our time on this. But yeah, I went through like different layout options. I was trying to visualize, like I said, I was marrying the two ideas, right? The Apple Word Clock layout and then time zone.digital. My initial plan was to just make have like two cards and then the dial. And then realize that, oh, if the dial is bigger, I don't have enough real estate, right? So I tried making the dial smaller to accommodate small cards, but you see how like the fact that the dial is already too small is already a problem. That's already too small for a thumb. So I went back and then I was thinking about, okay, you know what? Instead of cards, right, with the dial, what if I make it a list? So again, back to my initial inspiration, these two. What if I just make the list and then added it down? So I went through a couple of iterations with that, and then I ended up with like 5 lists. So you have like your city time, London, Toronto, whatever, and then the dial. And then I was also thinking about like the dial placement. Where should it be, on the left? Should it be on the right? How do I add new cities? So yeah, all these are like normal design decisions that I'm sure you people face on a regular day in your day job, right? And then also there's the real estate. Why did I even choose 5 cities? Why is it not 6? Why is it not 7? Right? But then when I realized that, oh, this is how big I want my dial to be, and then when you consider Apple's keyboard safe area, I realized that I couldn't have more than 5. If not, my dial would probably be smaller, and then that was going to cause a problem for Toms. Yeah, I also like went through different color schemes. I was thinking about, okay, you know what? I wanted people to like when you open the app, I wanted you to like be calm. Didn't want a situation where every time you open the app, you're anxious because of like the color scheme, right? I wanted people to open the app and feel a sense of calm, especially because like if you're working across different teams and you're trying to keep tabs on Singapore, Lagos, Toronto, Japan, or whatever, you don't want to be having to be stressed because you're opening an app that you're trying to compare time zones. So I settled for this grain that's very, very calm. And then yeah, like flows, like how how do you even like use the app in the first place? If you see here, this is like the location request. So once you open the app initially, you get asked if you so you can automatically it can automatically grab your location. So it becomes the first location for you. So if you're in London, it automatically just grabs that. And then you can start adding cities from there. Or you can cancel and then add your first city yourself. So all of these flows are things that, again, this is product thinking, right? This is all the things that you people do on a daily. And mind you, I was just designing this thing. I had not figured out how to build this in Swift UI. So I was still very much in Figma at this point. So yeah, you can type the city and then it comes up with your search options for whatever city or city or town that you're looking for, and then it gets added, right? So this is the first time rule. And then yeah, you click on the plus button, you add another city, and then on and on until you get to the maximum 5. So that's really the long and short of this app. I would explain how I use AI to build it in Swift AI, but that's like how like the design went in a sense. So like I said, I decided on 5 cities because given the amount of real estate that I had, there was no way it was going to be more than 5. So that and then yeah, obviously I got the app ready for like the app store, made screenshots, like I said. So you are basically scrubbing through time to see the word. You have 5 cities at a glance, so you can track only the places that matter to you, right? You drag travel to time. I have at least 153 cities on there, so you can find any major city, right? And then, like I said, you can know what the time is in the morning or in the evening. So if I'm in the morning, I can know what evening is going to be in Singapore, in Tokyo. So yeah, that's how I got the app prepared for App Store, and then before I even like obviously built in the software and then got it ready for the App Store. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
we can.
Yes.
Yeah. I just want to make sure you guys are following because I can't see you right now. So yeah, that's how I designed that in Figma. I don't want to bore you too much about like the design itself. So let's dive into using AI as a learning partner. First of all, I want to say that a lot of people think of AI as, oh, it's coming to take my job, it's going to make me redundant, etc, right? But I'm going to propose a new perspective, which is hard because the things that AI can do these days are ridiculous, right? But I'm going to propose, how about you seeing AI as a partner? So whatever it is that you want to learn, you can actually get this thing to work for you, right? So we're going to dive into using AI as a learning partner, right? And then I'll show you how I used AI in building wartime and actually learning Swift UI. So first, I want to talk about some of the principles I picked up along the way with like building with AI. Number one is mapping existing knowledge. I call it translation. So what does that even mean? So you're a PM, right? You guys are PMs. You are not starting from scratch. You already have like a knowledge base, right? So you already know how to write user stories. You already know how to write product specs. So you are not starting from zero. There's already existing knowledge that you have. So if you decide now that you want to build something with AI, or you want to learn a new whether language, or you want to learn a new concept, what translation does is basically telling AI like something like this: I am a designer. In my case, right, I would explain the PM way, but like in my case, I would say I'm a designer, right? I'm familiar with Figma, HTML, CSS. I want to learn Swift UI, right? Now, teach me Swift UI using this knowledge that I already have. So the knowledge of Figma, the knowledge of HTML, the knowledge of CSS. And then the things that AI will do with that knowledge and show you and make translations for you, like the things that translate from Figma to Swift UI, are going to blow your mind. In the case of product manager now, it will be a product manager now, it will be, for example, what are some of the things that you guys want to learn? Data analysis, SQL, which one? Hello? Hello?
SQL.
Yeah, SQL or data analysis, right? So we can ask AI, we're going to do like a demo session where we would ask AI to try out this existing knowledge and then teach us. Another thing is ask AI to teach you. Basically, it's as straightforward. Just ask AI to teach you something, right? Whatever it is that you want to learn, and then ask it to challenge your thinking, right? Okay, so I have this idea. This is what I want to do. Challenge this, like make me think about it, right? And then also like just use AI to practice. So those are some of the principles that I picked along the way with using AI. So I'm going to walk us through how I use AI in building wartime. So yeah, how I applied these principles in building wartime. Now, can everybody see the screenshot on my screen? Just to be sure.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Yes.
So initially when I started learning Swift AI, I was using like a YouTube course from Stanford. So I would watch the video and see how the lecturer was doing stuff, and then I would go do it myself, right? So I said, you know what? Let me just have a conversation with Claude. It could be ChatGPT, whatever you want to use. So I said, I want to build. I sent a screenshot of the app I wanted to build. I was like, I want to build this in iOS, right? And then let Swift UI. You're acting as a senior iOS developer, teaching me how to navigate this. Can you come up with a plan? That's already like that's the first approach, right? Just coming up with a plan first and then figuring out things from there. Now, the major principle that I've learned with using AI is, like I said, mapping existing knowledge. So I told Claude, I said, I'm familiar with HTML, Figma, CSS, right? And I'm learning Swift AI with this, right? So that's already my existing knowledge. Can you tie those concepts into Swift UI? And these were the responses that it gave me. So you see Figma to Swift UI translation. So you see, it's telling me a Figma frame, right? In Swift UI is VStack, HStack, GStack. So I already know that, okay, so that means vertical, horizontal, and then ZStack, right? And then it's telling me, oh, Figma auto layout is Swift UI stacks with spacing, right? And then there's also the HTML and CSS parallels that you drew for me. So it's basically just translating my existing knowledge to what I want to learn, right? Because I already told it that, oh, I'm familiar with Figma, I'm familiar with HTML, I'm familiar with CSS. So no, that use that as a frame of reference and teach me this thing, right? So that's how I started picking up Swift UI terms and based off of the existing knowledge I already had. And this is like a proper example, right? Where it's telling me, oh, this is how you would do a flex layout in HTML and CSS. And then this is how you would do it in Swift UI based off my HTML and CSS knowledge. So it's easier for me to now digest Swift UI because I am I am mapping my existing knowledge to SwiftUI. So I'm not just learning SwiftUI in a vacuum, right? I'm mapping my existing knowledge to SwiftUI. And all of this is literally my chat with AI. So it's not like I'm giving you doctored chat. This is literally my chat for my project, right? And then also, like, one of the things I also did was let it teach me as a senior iOS developer, right? So it gives me, breaks things down using that my existing knowledge, Figma, HTML, and CSS, but it's also talking to me as an a senior iOS developer, right? So yeah, so this is another example where I'm trying to draw a circle, and then it's showing me how, based off of my knowledge of Figma and HTML and CSS. So if you forget anything today, really, like if you don't remember anything from this session at all, right? Just know that you can give AI something, right, that you already know, and ask it to build a bridge, like a frame of reference for something you don't know. If there's anything that you are going to take away from today, from my having this product lab session with you guys, is this: you can map your existing knowledge to learn a new thing using AI. Hello?
Yes,
Yeah,
we are with
here
you.
we're listening.
Yeah, thank you. Just again, I can't see you guys, so I need you guys to once in a while just say something. So let's talk about personal project as a career asset. Right, we've talked about how I've used AI to build an app. The app is live on the app store, so it's not like I'm showing you something that is not working. It's working. It's on my phone. It's on some of my friends' phones. Some people have downloaded it and they're using it to work now. So let's talk about like how personal projects will benefit you in your career. So one of the things I want to talk about is personal projects afford you proof of work away from your day job, and they form a concrete story for interviews. I will explain. Whenever you're interviewing, right, you have conversations with your interviewer, and then you're telling them, oh, and this is my impact in my previous job. I contributed to this, I contributed to that. I contributed to this, I make sure they action this, I make sure they action that. All those things are great. There's no denying that, especially if you've done good work, they're great, right? But personal project sort of like elevates you because your story is no longer, oh, I did this, I did this, I did that. There's also your independent work. So with personal projects, for example, let's say you are already familiar with, you're a PM already, right? And you want to move into data analysis, or you want to move into SQL or whatever, right? When you do a personal project in SQL, and then you go for an interview and you say, oh, this is the work that I did in my PM day job, and then this is the work that I did on my own as a personal project trying to learn SQL. It sets you apart. So your story is already concrete. Your story is already concrete. Your story is already you've already like set yourself apart just because of personal projects. Personal projects sort of like open different doors for you. I would not be having this talk with you people if I didn't do this project. If I didn't, oh, I want to use AI to learn this, I want to use AI to learn that, this talk will not be happening. Right. So it already tells you that just doing personal projects alone can open different doors for you. Right. Another thing personal project can do for your career is it shows initiative, that you are somebody that can be trusted to make your own decision and follow through. Because a lot of times people say they want to do this, people say they want to do that, but there's not really like that follow through. There's no, oh, you start something and then you actually put it out in the world, right? A lot of people do not get to do that. So a personal project that is live, that is in the world, shows that you can take initiative, and that's very, very, very important. And then personal project also show your range and curiosity. Like, what are you curious about, really? You can't always tell what someone is curious about from their day job, right? Because, like I said, there are already structures and framework and processes in place for them to follow, right? But like, what are they curious about? How would you determine their range? That's what personal projects offer you. Your range. You can decide to build something totally different from your day job because you are curious about it, right? So with personal project, it shows your range and your level of curiosity, and that's something like hiring managers in general are really looking out for. They want people who have range. Even you, like if you are hiring somebody tomorrow, you'd want somebody who has range, who has a range of projects on their portfolio, right? And then, like I said, everything compounds. So personal projects afford you that compounding effect. Everything that you do compounds. If you make a Tetris game today, right, and then make a Scrabble game tomorrow, all the learnings that you get from those two projects, plus the learning you get from your day-to-day 9 to 5 job, everything compounds, right? Everything compounds. So how do you even start your own personal project, right? How do you say, okay, I want to do a personal project now? Like, how do I start? First things first, before you even do anything, what are you even curious about? Right? Because if you're not curious about the thing that they are trying to build, I'm sorry, you're not going to follow through. So first point I would say is follow your curiosity. Let your curiosity lead you. What are you curious about? In my case, I really like the idea of the time zone or digital application. And I was thinking, okay, you know what? What if this was a dial instead? And then obviously I have the Apple Word Clock on my phone. I'm like, okay, how do I marry that idea with the word clock? So I was curious, right? And then I let my curiosity lead me. So that's like that's the number one thing before you even go on AI or Claude or whatever, any AI and say, oh, I want to do this. Are you curious about the thing that you want to do? Right? Are we still here? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you,
Yes,
Runor.
yeah.
Um,
We are still
Okay.
Yes,
here.
sir.
Thank you so much. Then obviously write the brief yourself, right? Write it yourself. You're in control. So decide for yourself what exactly should this personal project be about. If it's a product, what should the product be about? Right? What exactly should you do? And then this is obviously like one of the things that you do in your day job. Scope it. I would say scope it aggressively. Like let decide for yourself that okay, what's the one thing this product should do? Right? Should people be able to buy this? Should people be able to play this? Should people be able to navigate this? What's the one thing? Scope it aggressively. And like I said, that's already like what you're familiar with as a PM. You scope, you people scope things on a regular, so you're not strangers to scoping, right? Scope it aggressively, like just make it do one thing very well, right? And then use AI to learn as you go. Really, just yes, I know a lot of people are skeptical, but like you can actually use this thing as a tool and learn as you go, right? And then finally, like in all your starting, please chip it. Actually follow through and put it out in the world. Like let people see the thing that you have built. Don't start it and then abandon it, please. Actually finish it. It might not be perfect, but like I said, we are scoping it to do just one thing very well, right? So actually put it out, ship it, put it out in the world, let people see it, right? Ship it. So yeah, in summary, um, personal projects are like I said, they are basically like a playground for your ideas and your curiosity. So that's something to note. And as AI has lowered the barriers right now, like I said, you obviously if you were building like a full-fledged product, you would at some point need a CTO and a designer and all that jazz. But for personal projects, like I said, you can fail, you can experiment, you can be everything, right? So go, play, learn inside AI, learn with AI, partner with it, play with different ideas, experiment, and then start with what you already know. Again, like I said, that's like the most, if there's anything that you guys will take away from this session is start with what you already know and then use AI as a bridge, right? Use AI as a bridge to supplement. Okay, this is what I already know. Then use AI to supplement that. Practice with it, and then if you're stuck, go back to AI again and say, okay, I was trying to figure this thing out, right? But like I'm stuck. So based off of what I already know, help me out. Give me references. Give me, teach me along with what I already know. Map my existing knowledge to this thing I'm trying to learn, right? And then another thing I also want you to know is AI doesn't know what it doesn't know. This is very important too, and that's why it's the last thing. Yeah, AI doesn't know what it doesn't know. So please, as you're using AI, use other resources. It might be a book, it might be a YouTube course, it might be a lecture, it might be whatever, it might be a Medium article, whatever. But always, I always want you to remember that whatever AI doesn't know, it doesn't know, and it's bad at it. So use other resources, right? Use other resources, please. So now, I think at this point, I've been talking about theory. So maybe we should do something together, right? I think it's time for us to like go into Claude or ChatGPT or whatever and just try and what's the word? Let me show you how that translation mapping existing knowledge works in practical, right? I've told you about it. I've told you to map existing knowledge, all of that, plenty English. Yeah, maybe now it's time for us to actually try something out and see what AI gives us, right? So let me get out of this. I'm back to our call. Hello? Can everyone see me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can hear you,
I can
Pastor
hear you.
Victor.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So now, let's be. Sorry, am I still in like? Do we still have time?
Oh, we still have time, please. I mean, you can get
Okay.
going.
Just to be sure. So now I'll take us to let me see. Should we use Claude or GPT? You can use Claude. Yeah, let's try. Let's use Claude. Let's see. Okay, I already created a project for the lab session anyway. So yeah, remember what I said that we should do map existing knowledge, right, to whatever we want to learn. So Saul mentioned, was it SQL or data analysis? Can somebody remind me, please?
SQL,
SQL.
SQL.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, SQL. So from that, let me go back there. Yeah, so this is the one where we are mapping existing knowledge with what we want to learn. So we can say, so let me see, let's see how this framework works now. So we can say I am a product manager. Sorry. With what do we say now? Let's say who understands user stories and what can we use now? Do we say product metrics? Right. And then say teach me SQL, right? With
Yes.
concepts. So let's say with the concepts I am already familiar with, right? So say I'm a product manager who understands user stories and product metrics. Teach me SQL with the concepts I'm already familiar with, right? How does that sound? Let's see. Yeah, okay, Max is fine. It's just basic, so let's see. Also, one of the things that makes me laugh about Claude is like there's a lot of elogio, like a lot of elogio word that it does. If you remember, you know what I mean? It's like it talks too much. So another thing I would want to add is you have to be open to iterating with AI, right? So you not don't just give it something and then hope that it will give you exactly what you need. Sometimes you have to tweak and tweak and tweak, right? You have to tweak and tweak and tweak until you get exactly what you're looking for. You understand me? Hello?
Yes, yes, we are following you.
Yeah. I don't know why this guy is taking a while now, but yeah. But yeah, this is like one framework that you can take away from this session is I am this, I understand X, right? Teach me Y using the concept of X, right? So whatever X is, whatever Y is, you get to decide. So whether you want to learn SQL, whether you want to learn HTML and CSS, just get into the habit of mapping your existing knowledge to whatever thing that you want to learn using AI. That's if there's anything that you're going to take away from this course and from this session, rather, my bad, from this session, it is that. That's a framework that's a principle and a framework that I've used in building so far that has worked for me. Like I built one time without zero experience with using SwiftUI. That's how crazy it is. And it's on the App Store now, right? It's on my GitHub. So without partnering with AI, I might not have moved at the speed that I moved. I moved. And maybe the app will not even be on the App Store right now. Do you get the point I'm trying to make? So if there's any principle you will take from today, it's that translating existing knowledge into something that you're trying to learn. Just mapping that existing knowledge is very, very important. If there's anything that you remember today, in short, I should go back there and maybe take a screenshot if you want. I don't know why Claude is taking time. Should we try GPT inside?
Yeah, actually, I was just saying you should try ChatGPT because I've gotten my own answer already on ChatGPT.
Wow, you got your answer and Claude is still doing
Yeah,
away. Yeah.
what is he thinking?
I'm dying. Let's see. Okay. Okay, let me just copy because I don't know why Claude is still thinking. Do you think we have all the time in the world? Oh, okay. That was fast. Too fast. Okay. So you see what I'm saying, right? So the best way to learn SQL from the starting point is to translate SQL's concept into product marketing concept you already use. So from this, you can build. So you already know that, okay, a user story is what question you're trying to answer. A user account is a row. User attribute is a column, right? Select, count. So it sort of like breaks down everything you need. And then you can now, from then on, something I would like to do is now say, okay, I mean, obviously, he already knows now that I'm a newbie, right? So whatever question I have, I can just tell it that, okay, you're going to teach me, but like, I want you to act as a, say, senior SQL, but what would I say now? Is he a developer or whatever? Do you understand the point I'm trying to make? So this already gives you like a basis, right? So you can see I'll teach you SQL in this order. It's telling you select where data, what data do I want? So it breaks things down for you, right? Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, so that prompt is, I mean, you can tweak it, you can adjust it with whatever you want to learn, but it actually works. And then it makes you sort of like gives you a mental model to tie in what you already know with what you're trying to learn, right? From here on out, you can now tweak and say, okay, if I have any issue, I'm coming to you, right? I want you to treat me as a junior SQL developer, and you are acting as a, okay, let me just type it instead of saying from here on, I'm coming. Can everybody see my screen?
Can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
So these are the like principles, things that I've just been using to like get it to do exactly what I want to do when I'm learning anything new, right? So like I now say, okay, from here on out, I want you to act as a senior SQL developer teaching a newbie. So what that means is anything that it gives me, it has to explain why it works and then tie it into the concept I already understand. Can you see how it's already like telling me now that it's going to translate SQL into product PM concepts? Right? So that's already like a way to make my learning easier. So from here on out now, we can start learning about SQL. And any issue, any problem I have, I can go back to this chat and address it. That's literally how I built that app. Like that's literally how I learned Swift UI. So, like I said, if there's anything that you take from this session, it is how to map your existing knowledge. Where are my slides again? How to map your existing knowledge and asking AI to teach you, right, with what you already know. So I guess we can move from the live demo now into like Q&A or Toby. It's already 8 o'clock.
Yes. Thank you for that amazing session. We've actually like learned a lot. So we have room for just few questions. If you have any question, can you just signify to ask or drop it in the chat so I can read it out for our speaker. So if you have question, please let's go straight to the point so that we can quickly round this off. Is there any question? Yes, Tony, please go ahead.
Thank you. Good evening, sir. Thank you, Mr. Bruno. Sorry. Okay, so my question is that you were telling us that we have to start with curiosity, like something that we are curious about. So that's how we can say that we want to practice our own like start with a problem. I don't know. My question is that can I just think of a problem, like maybe a problem around me, or like something I'm just familiar with, not just that I'm curious about it, just that I just want to work on it, or maybe like before I was thinking of um, solving problems that all these project management they are
Yeah.
facing. Like I want to compare everything together. I want to bring them together and look for the problem that they are really facing. So I'm not sure I don't know if that's curiosity, but I just thought of this in my head and I was like, let me work on that. But I don't know if it's just part of curiosity. Yeah, that's my question, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, I think yeah, that's part of curiosity. I think what you need to do is where do you want to take, like what exactly do you want to do with it, right? So it's not just being curious about something, is what exactly do you want to do with it? Hello?
Yes, sir, I'm with you. I can hear you.
Yeah, so what exactly do you want to do with it? Do you want to create, like what's your end goal?
Um, I wanted to add it to my portfolio, and in case I have any interview, I'll be able to explain that this is what I've worked on. Yeah, so that's I don't about the publish. I don't know. I still have a question about that. Like, how do you publish your, or is it when you get a job, or you talk to people about it, about what you have built, and they were interested in it. Was that how you publish it? Like,
Oh, okay, so that's like, I don't think, again, I feel like this is a permission problem more than anything. You don't really need to wait for anybody to talk about this thing. If you actually decide to follow through with this idea, right? You can write a Medium article. You can write something on Substack that, oh, you found this interesting problem and this is how you approach it and this is how you are trying to solve it. Do you get? So you really do not need you don't need to wait until you have like an interview or you've added it to your portfolio first before you talk about it. You can just talk about it. And then when you have an interview, you can just share the article and say, oh, this is the problem that I solved and this is what I wrote about it. Again, that permission problem, give yourself permission to do things. You don't need to wait for somebody to come and tell you to do something first. If you feel strongly about an idea and you feel like you want to experiment, you want to play with it, go ahead and figure it out. Like you don't need to assemble an entire team, right? You could even be your fellow product managers. You can just come together and say, okay, let's figure out how to make this, right? Again, just following your curiosity. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Toby.
All right. One more question. Okay, Chiku, can you please go ahead?
Hi everyone, good evening. Thank
Good
you,
evening.
Mr. Runo, for this beautiful presentation. Actually, I'm still training and I'm doing my capstone project right now.
Yeah.
But then you just said something about curiosity. But then I opted for a platform that helps plus size women shop from the same place, get style inspirations from the same place, and also find affordable vendors. Because there's this thing that happens when you go online to get clothes. They tell you that from 8 to 12 is 50K, and then from 14 upwards is like 80,000. It's like they're penalizing people for being fat. So at the end of the day, and when I tried working on the project, I realized that, are you sure that this is really something I want to do? But then again, I can't go back to change it. Why I opted for it was just like you said, being curious. It's not really curiosity for me. I'm a plus size person, so I felt like I could solve this problem. But
Yeah.
working on it now, I don't understand how I feel. So I don't know. You said follow something through. Of course, it's a capstone project. If I need a certificate, I'll follow it through. But how
Yeah.
do I maximize this project and actually bring it to something that is of benefit and value to people,
Okay.
since I'm already feeling this way?
Yeah. That's a very interesting thing because it's also a problem that you're facing, right? So it's a very interesting perspective. So what I would say is this. It's a capsule project, so there's no how. You have to follow it through, right? So you're already in it. Now, I'm sure you have done your research, right? You already have your qualitative and quantitative data and all of that jazz. So what's the data saying? Like, is this something that people feel like they need?
It's saying 75% of plus size women don't have access to these things.
Yes.
More so, they don't
Yes.
have access to it in one platform, and the demand increases by 6% annually.
Okay.
Yes,
That's
it's
all right.
saying that. Yes, it's saying that, but with the empathy research I was carrying, is more like people don't want to talk about it, or it's more like everybody just wants to lose weight. They're not interested in that solution that I'm trying to to bring to
And
them.
then
You
I
you
get what you
understand? Everybody's looking
mean.
for how to save money to
Yeah,
buy
I get what you mean. But there's
emphasize.
there's
Yeah.
also something to take away from this.
Okay.
Not every project, right, will turn out exactly how you're expecting, which is why why personal projects are important. Is you get to fail, you get to experiment. Oh, this is not working. Oh, this idea is not that solid. Oh, maybe people don't want this as much as I think I did. I thought they initially did, right? But like I said, you have to develop that follow through ability. Finish it, give it your best, finish it, do your research, whatever the research is saying, try and come up with solutions that actually reflect that. Finish it. Take all the whatever learnings that you get from it, take it, right? Like I said, the learning compounds. Yes, the project might not work at the end of the day, but you will learn something. Trust me, you will learn something that will that will help you in your next project. Right? So because I said follow your curiosity now, and now you are second guessing your capstone project. No, actually follow through. Follow all the guidelines and everything that you learned so far as a product manager, and then finish that capstone project. And when you are done, reflect, look at it, Like, what are the lessons that you can take from it? That's a Medium article already, right? Now you are realizing that maybe people do not. Maybe this is not even a problem as I thought it was. Maybe people don't. Maybe there's a shame angle. Maybe people just want to lose weight. So this app would not even work because everybody wants to lose weight. Do you understand what I'm trying to? So there will always be learnings that you can take from it. Don't go into all your personal projects thinking that all of them will succeed. You're setting yourself up for failure and disappointment. But in the case of this one, it's a capstone project. So please, I beg you, follow through, finish it.
Sorry, you don't have to beg me. I know how much I paid.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate this. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. We really enjoy your session. I guess that would be all. Like that would be all the questions that we can take now. Is after 8.
We can't take any more questions.
Yeah.
Thank you, Runor. Taking over from
thank you, guys.
Number one, I want to say thank you so much for joining the call early. You're the earliest guest we've had on the session. I mean, joining 20 minutes before the call. That's some new stuff that I've not seen anywhere else. So I love it. And I also like the fact that you're big on experimenting. I think it's something that will put up my judgment to do. Talking about experimenting, please, for everyone that is joining the session, I believe that you go ahead and build something. So when you go ahead and build something and you post it on LinkedIn, please don't forget to tag Runor and Bring Products. Like when you post, tag him that okay, yeah, this is where you got something from, and so that we are able to use that as some form of appreciation as well. With that being said, we have Hangout coming up soon, and it's going to be a movie Hangout. Basically, all you need to do is pay, and we would release the list of movies that we're all going to get votes to select the movie we're going to watch, right? So if Odyssey is still banging by the time or at that time, maybe it will be part of the list, maybe it will not. But I would send the link to pay in the chat box, and looking forward to see you at our hangout for Q4. Princess, please, thank you. Princess, can you help me send the link to the movie too? Next time my device is hanging. So Princess has also sent Runor's LinkedIn. So if you would like to do a thank you and would like to do a follow-up on the projects that you're building, please don't hesitate to post online and post on LinkedIn. Thank you very much, everyone. We're very, very sorry for going past time, but I believe that you found this very, very valuable. And take it a step further by actually doing. So if it's to build a alarm clock app tonight, do something. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Runor. Please enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you, everyone. Please, when is this hangout coming to Abuja?
Princess, when are we going to Abuja?
Yes. When is it coming to Abuja? Okay.
We'll plan it and we'll get back to you, don't worry. Well, soon. We've done it before and we'll do it again. We've done in 4 countries before, so don't worry. Abuja is a piece of cake. We can do it.
Okay.
Thank you very much, everyone. Please
How about Port Harcourt?
Everywhere is possible. I think what's more important is to get 5 to 10 people like yourself that is also in that environment or that is in that state and make a case for it. And community managers would look at that and see how we can make it happen. But absolutely, it's possible.
Thank you very much. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.